Hello, my name is Sam Williams. I'm from Bristol in the United Kingdom. I'm 24 years old and I'm an OCD coach here at OCD Recovery. My main themes were taboo-related OCD, any moral theme, anything that's associated with guilt and shame. I first noticed taboo OCD in 2018 when I was being bombarded and totally harassed by intrusive thoughts, intrusive images, and intrusive memories. The thoughts were incredibly intrusive, of a very taboo nature, whether that was of a sexual intrusive nature, a harm nature. The last thing that you wish to think about OCD was throwing in. That's exactly what OCD was targeting. I was terrified of people perceiving me differently if I told them about the intrusive taboo thoughts that I was experiencing. OCD would latch to, well, you're undeserving of any happiness. You're undeserving of any joy. How dare you let yourself off the hook? I felt like a prisoner trapped in my own mind. I felt like there was no escape. I felt totally boxed in, and I thought that was going to be my mental state forever. Forever trapped in that permanent state of guilt and shame. And this linked into the fear of being abandoned by family and loved ones. I remember quite vividly seeking reassurance and confessing to my fiancée, Amy. And I remember times where I'd be quite literally crying in her arms, where she is comforting me, she's telling me I'm not a bad person. Here we go then.
So,
Is this thing on? Let's go. Let's talk about OCD.
like we haven't done that enough of that.
So Amy, let's roll the clock back to 2018 when OCD became very severe for me. What was that like for you when I was seeking reassurance but also very upset?
I feel like I knew there was something wrong with you for a while, just very withdrawn, quite quiet, not your usual self. And then it all just came out all at once almost, and you had this massive reassurance seeking confession, almost 2 hours, wasn't it, of you just spilling everything that was going on. And I think for me, I was like, how do I deal with this? The contrast from that January till the holiday, I was like, what has happened here? And it's almost like the carpet's been pulled out from under your feet, and it's suddenly like, where's the old Sam gone, almost. Initially, the really hard thing for me to get my head around was the fact that I can't talk to you and just tell you once that at that point you are so irrational, you need all of the reassurance in the world, and if I tell you one thing one time, you're going to ask for it 10 more times. And it's just, it was just constant, wasn't it, for 6 months at least.
It must have felt like you were dating an addict, because I was possessed, and when I wanted reassurance from you and when I was in that confession, I couldn't be stopped.
No.
Like, no matter what you said, I wanted more and more and more. I was seeking relief, getting it, but it was so short term. It was so short lived. And
I generally had a fear that if I left you, you would just spiral and get yourself into a really horrible position. And it sounds horrible to say, but it was getting exhausting, and I was at the point and I was like, I genuinely don't know what more I can do to help. When I first came across Rob's page on Twitter, OCD Recovery, I felt heard for the first time. Rob's OCD recovery approach was much more direct. He really showed me the way of unconditional acceptance and how that is the key to OCD recovery. When you started going to Rob, all the pressure on me was taken off. Wow. And I think when you were having your weekly or 2 weekly calls, it it became a point where I realised, oh, this is a little bit back to normality now. And looking back now, if someone said, would you go through it all again? I would say definitely, because looking back now, in hindsight, it has made us so much stronger.
I remember one particular moment when things started to change on my recovery journey. A year into my recovery journey, I remember going out for a walk in the sun. In that moment, I just felt a release of the guilt. I felt a release of the shame. Life recovered from OCD looks completely different to life being stuck with OCD. Life feels much brighter. You feel much more energized. Through this recovery journey, I have realized I do not have to suffer forever. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is no treatment-resistant case. You can get better. It will take practice, it will take patience, and it will take perseverance. But recovery is so worth it.